Hello viewers, and welcome back to Rain City. I wanted to show you a project I've been working on for the last few months. It's a 1973 John Deere 140H3. Looks like a sausage factory behind me in parts. This is morphed into a complete restoration. I wasn't originally intending on doing that, but follow me and we'll take you on a quick tour. We'll start off down here with the engine. I overhauled this, I think it was July of 2020. Replaced the valves, piston, connecting rod, carburetor, the coil, and honed it out. Reworked everything inside, and it runs perfect. And that's kind of how it morphed into a complete restoration from there. I've got some drums here. This is the hydraulic cylinder, spool valve, just a bunch of parts. I've got these painted over the last couple days. I'll probably clear them next week. There's the drive shaft, and what's that? The brake rod, or brake pedals. Got the hydraulic lines down here. We have the hydraulic levers. Two of these were completely bound up. They were seized up. They didn't move. Got the, I think what they're calling this, the rock shaft, the rocker shaft. Pitman arm. Here's the steering housing. This has the heavy-duty 1-inch spindles on it. Here's the fuel tank straps. Those took I don't know, probably 1.5 hours, 2 hours to get these completely straightened out and then prepped for paint. Yeah, it looks really good now. I sent all these parts out and had them sandblasted. There's, I think there's about 140 parts in the garage here. I've got more in the house. Here's the axle, or I guess the axle shaft. I got this fuel tank, the original fuel tank, off of eBay for 65 bucks. It's almost pristine condition. It's got a baffle in it. 1/3 of it's a baffle. The one I had wasn't the original fuel tank. And we've got a bunch more smaller parts down here, tie rod ends and link shafts. Here's the frame. Just got that painted yesterday. This ear for the, I think for the mule drive and for the attachments, had snapped off, and they did a really crappy job of welding. And so I went ahead and ground it off. It wasn't in the, it was like at an angle, and ground all their stuff off and re-welded it in there. Yeah, it snapped off from the factory welds. There's my weld in there. I cranked my welder all the way up and tried to get as much penetration as I could in it. Yeah, it looks great. It's got a lot of rust pitting, but this has all been blasted. And it's got 2 coats of self-etching primer, and then 2 coats of paint. Yeah, it looks fantastic. And underneath of it is the back section of the differential back section housing. These are all sandblasted. This is the tower. And the hydrostatic units over here. This is the only thing that I have not gotten into, and I won't. It worked perfect before I took it apart. I did have to do these trunnion shaft seals. This one here is just puking, just pouring out. So I replaced those 2 seals, the input shaft seal. You see, this has got a really beefy, kind of like a removable carrier style. It's got a beefy ring gear and pinion in there. I got to do a little bit more prep on that, clean this up, reseal this plate. Before I first took this apart, this is so packed with mud and gunk, you couldn't even see these fins. The whole thing was. Looks pretty decent now, but I got to do a little bit more prep on that. The hood, I got a replacement hood. It's in the house. This thing is so badly damaged, repainted, cracked, pieces missing. Thought about repairing it, and then it's just going to take so much time. It's got a crack there. The stickers are shot. So I got a replacement hood, fiberglass hood, and had to get a new grill. I could have probably straightened it, but it's got a couple holes in it. It's pretty mangled. I was able to get one on eBay, and for some guy bid me up to 95 bucks. I don't know where this came from, but it must be like new old stock. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. It is pristine. You just don't have to do anything to this, just stick it in. Not one dent, ding, or nothing in it. And then here's the fuel tank that they had put on. It fit in there. I don't know if it's a replacement aftermarket, but it leaked out of the cap. It's got this old cork gasket. The original one, like I have over there, John Deere's, it's a screw-on cap with the seal, and it's got a little fuel level gauge built into the top of it. Also, the ends of it is kind of like notched in, and so on both sides, and it decreases your fuel capacity. I also I bought a tower. This thing cost me like 130 bucks. A guy had got it on an estate sale, and it was some guy had prepped it and painted it. The reason I got it for this spring ear that comes off when you shut the hood. It detents into that. But mine was busted off, so I figured, well, the guy did all the work for me. I won't have to redo my tower. Well, when I got it, it was all bent to crap. And this was bent in, and it had 2 cracks in it. I welded them up and ground them down, but then I don't know, to get this all painted in, get that all redone, it's almost like you'd have to take it back down again. And I thought it was going to be too much work, and I had a crack down here, and I welded up. But I just drilled this off of this one, and then I had mine sandblasted and repainted my tower, and it's in better shape. It's actually in perfect shape. So what cost me 130 bucks, essentially, for this guy right here. So mine was busted right off the end. And being spring steel, I don't know how you'd make that. So that's what I got, and I'll re-rivet this onto my tower. This is the other parts I was talking about. I painted these up, I think about 3 weeks ago or a month ago. I didn't get a final coat on the rims or this body assembly. The weather turned cold, so I just brought them in. Let me show you something kind of cool on this rim. It's a Firestone. It's a 12x7 February 73 USA Firestone. Kind of cool. Got some gasket making material. There's about 4 or 5 gaskets that are obsolete. I'll use this to make that. And there's 2 big foam sections. These rectangular sections that go under this body. And those are obsolete. So I got this online. This is all the new parts that I've rounded up. Got some tail lights. There's a center cap for the steering wheel. All the stickers are in here. Bearings for the steering. Here's some little grommets that go around the hydraulic lines. keep them from chafing into the frame. Some switches, some knobs, battery hold down. Here's the VIN plate that I pulled off. Cut the rivets off of it. It's 59,409. So I've got all the parts to put this back together. Wiring harness has been overhauled. It's in great shape. Battery tray, some brake rods, air cleaner housing, and this is that. Oh, it was a replica, brand new reproduction hood. It's that same thickness of fiberglass. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's colored green to match gel coat, so I don't have to paint it, don't have to do anything. And maybe I'll clear coat it. I don't know yet, but as far as painting it or anything, oh no, just gonna leave this alone. And you drill it. It's got little marks in here on where to drill for the front hinges. And I think there's two back here for the little latch. Yeah, it's 310 bucks for that, but time is money, and messing with that other one, oh my god, I don't know how much time I'd have in that. It'd still be a piece of crap probably when I was done with it. So that was well worth that. Here's some backing plates. So there you have it. I need to get this thing done because the wife is tired of sleeping on the floor. I need to clear this bed off. When I get this whole thing done, hopefully in about a month, maybe 6 weeks, I'll do another video when it's completed and running, and I'll post it and see what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.